Heroes, my name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. It's going to be a fairly quick one because we're getting ready to go out. But I wanted to do an unboxing of my Little Miss So and So All Set to Sew subscription box and show you my make from last month. So I am not sponsored to do these. I just decided that I wanted a subscription box. I've had my eye out for a while, but I didn't like the element of risk involved, and I didn't want to end up with loads of fabric that I didn't want to use. Then I found the All Set to Sew subscription box, which is from Little Miss So and So, and with that you get a choice between 2 patterns and you get a choice of a load of fabrics. So it's sort of the perfect balance, and for me I've definitely found it's just given me a bit more structure this month. When I've gotten to that point where I've sewn the things I initially planned to sew and then was like what to do next, I was like, no, I need to get my subscription box sewn. So very quickly, we're on our way out actually, so I'm hoping to get some full pictures of this because you probably won't get the best view here because there's not that much room for me to stand. But this is the Harriet dress by Fibre Mood. I will try and stand up without knocking my balancing thing over. So you can sort of see here, it's like a shirt, sort of utility style with these pockets. It's got the sleeve length is actually pretty perfect on me, and that's bearing in mind that I normally have to really shorten sleeves a lot. So I don't know if I don't really know what length these were supposed to be, because in the picture on the front of the pattern she's sort of moving her arms, so you can't really tell, but for me they are pretty much the perfect length, which is great. And then the dropped waist is just here, but with the waist tie it's sort of, because normally I wouldn't wear a dropped waist really, but I'm really chuffed with it. I'll try and get some pictures when we're out later today. We're going to the Oxo Tower for my brother's 30th birthday. So I'll try and get some full length pictures, and if I do, I'll pop them here, and if not, you will see them in another vlog. But yeah, so the fabric is Dotty About Dots cotton lawn in the colour Claret by Lady McElroy. And this fabric is a dream, like really a dream to work with. It didn't distort at all, it didn't fray too much. It's just really beautiful quality lawn. So fabric 10 out of 10, would use again, can highly recommend. And especially for a shirt pattern, it's just like the perfect weight for sort of a shirt or a shirt dress. In terms of the pattern itself, I didn't twirl and I didn't make any adjustments. And I would say, looking at it, I could probably do a bit of full bust adjustment. You see there are these sort of lines here, so I think like a small FBA would be good. But other than that, I'm trying to think, did I do anything else? No, I positioned the buttons myself using a button gauge, because I sometimes find that especially on patterns that aren't drafted for specifically or designed specifically for curvier bodies, the buttons are often too far apart, and that's where there's some gaping issues. So I use my button gauge. I don't think the button placement is perfect, but it's pretty good and I feel very secure. Not that I'm going to flash anybody. The shoulders, slightly off the shoulder here, but generally I think the fit's really good. As I said, the sleeves are pretty much a perfect length for me, but I have quite short arms, so I would say that would be a thing to check, unless either you're happier to have like a slightly shorter like wrist sleeve, like this sort of thing, or if you've got longer arms you'll need to extend them probably, because as I said, I almost always have to make my sleeves shorter. Yeah, so all I would say about this pattern, and this is one of the benefits of these boxes, like I would not have bought this pattern because I think the dropped waist would have put me off. But actually the construction was really enjoyable. I have made a few shirts before, so I don't know if that makes it more so because it's not such a surprise, but just the way it's put together is really pleasing. The Fibre Mood instructions I think are a bit of a mixed bag. In a sense, I find them really clear, but then there are things like, it's just little things like if you were new that I think would be confusing. So for example, with putting the pockets onto the front bodice pieces, it tells you how to do it, but it doesn't then say things like repeat on the other side, and it was the same with the button placket, because some shirts I've made, you only add a button placket on one side and then you fold over on the other side. And obviously you can work that out quite easily by just looking at the pieces that you've got. But it said to put the button placket on one side and then it didn't say repeat for the other side. So there were like little things like that where I just feel like an extra sentence can just like clarify and stop you from having to have that moment where you're like, do I definitely do it or not? And then having to sort of go back and work it out yourself. But I'd say the instructions that are there are clear, the pictures are clear. The only other thing is they talk a lot about using your sort of tailor's, do I mean tailor's tacks? Like the little guide stitches you put in. So like if they've put a, I don't know, marked place where you have to add a button or a buttonhole or whatever, they sort of, they'll say when you're going through construction, like sew up to the tack you put in. But I actually couldn't find a step where you put the tacks in. And obviously I would just go back to the pattern and work out where the point would be and just draw it on. But yeah, there were just a few things like that where I think if you're not used to doing these things, you might find it a little bit tricky in a couple of places, just that it's not as clear as it could be. But the instructions generally that they use, I found really good. I think the fit is pretty good, as I said. I made no adjustments, so maybe a little full bust adjustment, but to be honest, I'm not that bothered. Some people are really on it with getting the absolute perfect fit, which I suppose is partly what you sew for, but I just don't want to, I think it's just about how you choose to use your time. And for me, I'd rather just like get on and sew, and it's like, if something fits really badly, then that's a problem, but I'm just a bit impatient, you know. But yeah, maybe one day that will change. Anyway, on to this month's box. So this is my February box. It came a couple of days ago, but I wanted to finish the shirt dress first. And on the day it arrived, actually, I was at work and I received a call from the Little Miss So-and-so headquarters, just saying that they'd sent me the wrong size pattern. And so they were sending the pattern on again separately. And it arrived literally the next day. So I have removed these from their box, but I've not unwrapped anything. Okay, I've just opened the box. So let's get going. So I'm going to unwrap the main package. Oh. So the great thing about this is you pick. Oh, what's that? Wait, is that? I don't know what this is. I thought I knew what it was, but now I don't. Oh, I don't know what that is. Right, okay. I don't know what's going on. A bit overwhelmed. Okay, so you pick your pattern and your fabric, but I picked that like at the start of February. So then you have a bit of a gap, and I always sort of forget what I've chosen. So here we have, so in the, this is the So Luxurious box. So in this you get a choice of designer fabrics, so it's like Lady McElroy, Atelier Brunette, like other fabrics like that. You get a pattern, you get a sewing gift, and then you get all of the notions that you need to make whichever pattern it is you've chosen. So my pattern for this month, so here it is in the, is that in the straight size range? Is the So Liberated Hinterland dress. Sorry, my ring light's always so bright you can't see. I'll see if I can put it down so you can see that a bit better. There you go. Yeah, so this is a dress. Ooh. Who's beeping their horn? Angry. Right, okay, so the Hinterland dress comes in lots of different views. I actually hadn't really heard of it, but then when I looked on Instagram, everyone has been making it. So I don't know like what, like how I missed that. But anyway, you have it in lots of different views. There's a little button placket down the front, which can either go all the way down to the bottom or can just go along the top of the bodice. You have different sleeve options. So what have we got here? We've got like a 3/4 length sleeve, a cap sleeve. That's 3/4 length again. And then this one's sleeveless. We've got a nice gathered skirt, it looks like. So when I open it up, oh yes. So they have some pictures here of some makes. They all look very tasteful and not bright, which we all know is not my vibe. Okay, so they have a detailed sew along and instructions on how to fit the bodice, so you can go along and watch a whole video. We have the cutting plans. Here are some more detailed line drawings. Here you go. Oh wait, hang on. So those are the different options. So you have the 3 along the top with the different sleeves, and then you have the back views. Is that the back views? Oh no, I think you can... Yeah, I think that's the back views. Sorry, you can tell I've only just opened this because I've not looked at it until now. Yeah, so that is going to be really nice. I just thought, I can't remember what the other pattern was now, but I just think like this one seems very, like a very wearable dress. And also it's quite nice to have things where they've already included lots of different views, because then it just gives you a lot of scope. So that's the Hinterland dress. In here is, so I have the size 0 to 24 pattern here, and then I have the extended size in here, and 2 sets of instructions. So I don't know, I said to them, shall I send the other pattern back? And they said no, so don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I can make one for someone else, or I don't know. But yeah, so that's the pattern. So then with that, we have the interfacing. So this is part of the stuff that you need to make the pattern. And then also we have got some thread, just some black Gutterman thread. Ooh, and these cute little buttons. Wow. Well, these are not going to show up very well, I don't think, but they have like, so they're white buttons, but they have little, like sort of dents in them. Little white sort of, I don't know what you call that. I guess, yeah, just like little dents all the way through them. So there are, God, loads of them. So basically they put in enough buttons for you to do the buttons all the way down the front if you wish to. We then have the gift, which is this. Now, I am still trying to work out what it is. Ooh. Oh my God. What is this? Okay, it's like a penknife for sewing. So when you look, right. So it's just this shape. And then you've got different things going on around the sides. So on this side here, you push it up, and it's a seam ripper. Oh my God. And then when you press the button on the top, it's a little light. Oh my God. Now actually, you know what? I was sewing on buttons last night on this dress, and actually was having a real, no, it was the night before last, sewing buttons on this dress, and I was having a real pain because the light is not good downstairs for us in the evening. And obviously the thread is too good a match. And so I was really struggling. So this little guy would have been perfect. Okay, so it's got a little torch. And on this side, it has this. So I think, is that like a threader? Like a needle threader? I've never actually used one before. I could be wrong, but I think that might be what that is. So it's like a multi-tool. Here we go. Super bright LED, seam ripper, needle threader, and thread cutter. Okay, where's the thread cutter? Is that there? Maybe that's the thread cutter in there, that bit. That's where the battery goes. Oh my God, what a clever little gift. That's so handy. I also always lose my seam ripper. So that's a great gift. So we're going to call that a crafter's penknife. I've made up that name myself. And it's by So, well, it says So Handy. That is such a good gift. Anyway, great little gift. Right, now to the fabric, which is what we're all here for. So again, there was a really nice selection. I can't actually remember who the designer of this is. Does it say in the selvage? No. So this is a designer fabric. I will try and work out and add it in, but it is this. So again, this is a cotton lawn. I had such a nice experience with my lawn last week that I was like, it's got to be lawn again. So, and I was sort of thinking, my mind is going more into sewing for spring now. We are going to Paris in a couple of weeks, which I mentioned in the last vlog. And yeah, I'm just starting to think a bit more about things that I might like to make for that trip. And also great photo opportunities for any makes. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking more in like spring, summer vibes now. So if we have a closer look, it's got this beautiful sort of floral scene. We've got the reds, we've got these blues, which I really like, and the yellows. And yeah, I think that's going to be cute. You know, with the buttons as well. Showcasing this so badly. But I think the buttons are going to look very sweet on that. They obviously tie in with the lighter colour here. Yeah, I think that's going to make a really nice dress. I think the thing with like spring colour palettes sometimes is they get a bit pastel-y. I'm not really a pastels kind of girl. I don't think I look great in pastels. So I always love it when they've got like some bold options. And I've definitely found in the Little Miss So-and-so selection, there's like such a range of things. Like there's always multiple fabrics that I could choose. I'm quite surprised I've gone for wovens both months so far, because I think sewing knit fabrics is a bit quicker. But the patterns just haven't really done it for me. I can't remember what the pattern was this month for it, but yeah, it's just the wovens have done it for me. So yeah, so that's going to be, so I'm going to use it again. I am going to use it for the pattern, so I'll be making the hinterland dress in this, and you'll hopefully see me wearing that next month when I show you my March box. So yeah, that's it. So far I'm sort of really enjoying it. I feel like this pattern is something I would never have made, and I was looking in the mirror and I was thinking, because I think this is quite a good sort of, you know, crossing it. It could be sort of autumnal, it could be like going into the spring, but I'm thinking I'd like this in like a brighter colourway that's a bit more spring summery. So I'm already planning my next one, and I just would never have picked this pattern for myself, but I just really enjoyed sewing it. So thank you, Little Miss So-and-so, for the lovely box last month. I'm really excited to make up my hinterland dress, and it will just be a few days before we're picking for the March box as well. So far I'm really on board with this subscription box, and I would definitely recommend, if you want to have a subscription box, you like the element of surprise but you just want a bit more control, yeah, I would say go for it if you can afford to. They have different, I've currently got the So Luxurious box, which I may keep or I may end up moving around with their different options. I think they've got like a simple box, and then they've got, is it the classic box or something, where you get basically the same stuff but it's just not designer fabric, and the fabric they have on offer there always looks nice in the videos I've seen. So I think that one's 45 or 40 a month. This one is 65 a month off the top of my head. So yeah, another great box. All right, thanks everybody, I'll see you next time. Bye.